What is up, y'all? Shabbat Shalom. We are here for our weekend reflection message. So from the Radiant Sun Oracle, we've got fulfillment, which is Saturn in Sagittarius, followed by Mercury in Scorpio, which is extremism. And we have the Sun in Capricorn, which is achievement. Underneath fulfillment, we have King of Pentacles. Yay. Along with extremism, we have Seven of Pentacles. Under achievement, we have Three of Swords. And to finish the reading, we've got a pensive Queen of Wands. So, I know I just jumped right in. I'm tired. I had a busy day just running around trying to do it all. There was one task that I wish that I would have done, or two. But overall, I'm pretty happy with my day. Just a little bit tired now. I went on a good run and then got rained on and then came home and changed and then worked out and it poured and then the sun came out and I went for a long walk. And then at the end of the walk, I came back and went into my garden and I was clipping some, green beans and then it started pouring again. So I ended up taking a shower and now I am relaxed and tired, and I ate a little quick snack and so now I'm even more relaxed and tired. So that explains my energy levels. All right, so fulfillment. I'm excited, along with the King of Pentacles. So basically, we are really on the verge of experiencing an up-leveling in our life, and we've known that it's been gradually happening in stages, in a gradient almost, for a while now. Ooh, excuse me. And the more we can sort of work on the parts of ourselves that end up kind of holding us back or sabotaging us, then the more like stability and the more security that we're gaining. And so real fulfillment is at hand, and it's like we're sitting here, we're waiting, and our ship is coming in. We can see it, we can feel it, we can feel its approach is imminent. And even now we are feeling like that King of Pentacles who's starting to feel the real fruits of the beginnings of security, or at least feeling like we have a plan and we have steps in place and we're starting to take steps in the right direction. So we are being acknowledged that we have come at least this far and we are getting closer to having our shit together. But just hold tight and have patience and bide your time for a moment. Seven of Pentacles is about waiting, like being anxious for the fruits to come in, but not jumping the gun, not doing anything too impulsive. It's funny. It's about patience and waiting and like restricting the urge for instant gratification for long-term fulfillment. And I love the way that this deck illustrates this, because this character looks to me like she went impulse shopping. Like she's one of those people that went to Marshall's. They don't need anything. They went to Marshall's and they're coming away with all these bags. They've, just blown several $100s by accident. So we need to resist the urge to want to act out of like haste and impulsively and squander the efforts that we have put in. And so we restrict the urge to fall into temptations for things that will give us instant high, instant gratification, instant light, instant energy, instant joy. But instead we're like, okay, I'm going to put in the hard work. I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to have the discipline. I'm going to say no. And I'm going to have the long-term value instead. Right? It's like if you've worked out and you've been good on your diet, and then all of a sudden it's like you have some really bad slips, and you're like, great, I was just starting to make progress, and now I have done something that I can't take back that's going to cost me, and I'm going to have to work off again. So we're learning how to temper these extreme swings of discipline. I've got it. I'm practicing self-control. Oh, I've lost my self-control. I have worn down my willpower, and now I have backslid, right? Same for like impulse shopping, or, feeling like, oh, I can make this purchase or that purchase. I can swing it for now, but then like some unexpected things come up, and then it's like, oh, you're in a bind. So trying to practice long-term consistency with your habits, without having these moments where you kind of like lose your progress. It's like, for me, when people have like a weekly cheat day, like a little small things might not set you back, but if you have a day where you're just like going crazy, you've probably eaten your entire calorie deficit that you created in your workouts for the week. So it's like, is the cheat worth it? Like, can you, even rein it in and have a more modest way to celebrate that doesn't take away all your progress, right? So that takes extra discipline, because once we start getting closer to the finish line, it's like, we want to celebrate. We want to let our hair down, right? When you've saved up a bunch of money, or you feel like you've been working extra shifts, as I do this too, then you have like a little thing that you want to get a purchase, and you're like, oh, well, I just spent, some of the extra money that I just made. And then, a few weeks later, when, we're not getting the shifts at work, then it's like, oh, there went the momentum that I was building, right? So in the meantime, it's like learning how to recognize those moments when we're in them, whether it be in we call it work, Aldi's, the shame aisle at Aldi, where it's like the impulse purchase stuff. I stopped going down the impulse purchase aisle. And then I've started making a game for myself where I really stick to my list, and I stick to my budgets, and I feel good about it, and I feel excited, right? And I've been trying to make a habit of regularly putting money in investments rather than waiting until I've saved up a bunch and then putting it in, right? Doing small acts consistently adds up more over time than trying to make big, grandiose efforts. All right, now we have achievement here, the sun in Capricorn. So I feel that we're starting to, we've been practicing the new habits, practicing the new mindsets, and we're getting our footing, and it's starting to become our new habitual, reflexive response, our new normal, or we're working on making that these things our new normal. And so we're on the precipice of the beginnings of achievement. However, the thing that stands in the way is this Three of Swords. So what is this? These are the three fates, is what I like to think of it as right now, because we are in the Bimashpatim. It's in the written blog today. Anyway, okay, so there's the 3 weeks. It's the Hebrew word or the phrase literally means the 3 weeks that we anticipate all year long. And these 3 weeks have a particular, like there's an opening in the cosmic windows of time and space, and we have like a direct connection to like unfiltered raw light of the Creator. And this brings forth challenges, because what happens is that we are initiating our vessel so that we can up level to receive that light coming in. So what happens is we are put under pressure over these 3 weeks, and any kind of crack or space in our ego is going to be put to the test. And so where we have temptations, whether it be towards things we lust for and we desire, or things that make us, angry, or tempt us into judgment or evil tongue or envy or covetousness, whatever that may be, over these 3 weeks, we are going to be shown our reflex to negativity. And we then have a chance to see it out in the light, in the broad daylight, as bright as the light can be, and see it for what it is and say, pause, no, I'm voting against that. I am using this moment to transform this quality about myself for once and for all. And so what happens is that during this time, during these 3 weeks, if we can make these shifts and changes and resist the lower nature, then it releases like exponential amounts of energy that reveal miracles and healing and remove blocks and like real drastic leaps and bounds and advancement and growth. So these 3 swords to me represent the challenge or the theme of the tests that will be arriving each week. Think of it like Scrooge. If you watched any of the Scrooge movies or stories, I like actually the movie Scrooge with Bill Murray. But the character Ebenezer Scrooge is visited by 3 ghosts of Christmas: Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future. And so each one of these ghosts sort of take Ebenezer through a difficult lesson that he has to face about himself, and witness and look at a difficult truth that he has to face about himself in order to change. And so too, during these 3 weeks, it's like each one of these swords represents a theme that will present during each week. And I think that it'll probably be, instead of like a mix match, I mean, it might be a mismatch of a bunch, but it seems like, I feel like each week will have a unique flavor to it, and it will kind of connect back. Think about whatever's triggering you, or whatever challenges you're having that week. What do you think that this instinctually ask the Creator in prayer, show me what these challenges are trying to reveal to me about myself so that I can transform and heal and elevate and correct this. What are these challenges connected to on a spiritual level that are also affecting the other areas of my life as well? And so I feel like as we hone in on these things that we need to change, then the blocks that have been holding our achievement and our fulfillment just out at an arm's reach, just out of our reach, I think these blocks are going to be removed. And I think that like big things are going to happen on the other side of this 3 weeks. There's also a Mercury retrograde going on right now. And Chris Corsini pointed out that this was like the 3rd year in a row that we've had a personal planet in retrograde during July. And which is interesting because July is the 3 weeks, right? So there's been deep introspection and reflection going on the past 3 years in a row during these holidays. I remember last year was a lot harder for me, so I feel encouraged by that. But the last card here is Queen of Wands. And like you look at her, she looks like she's looking back over her life and reviewing the lessons that she has lived, and kind of reevaluating her process and her plans moving forward. right? And what do we know about the Queen of Wands? The Queen of Wands is like so charismatic and so full of life and so full of energy. She has, industrious dreams and motivations, and she's also, a wonderful, warm homemaker and wife and family woman. And so she's got the career. She's a leader. She's charismatic. She's an entertainer. She's the person that, is always coming up with fun things to do. So I think that part of us is about to blossom in a new way, like having the King of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands here. Like, I think that this would be my two best aspects of self. Like, how happy would I be if I was feeling Queen of Wands and I was also having the stability of the King of Pentacles, right? So all we need now is patience and restriction and awareness as we move carefully through these next 3 weeks to navigate these tests that are really initiations that are opening up these next levels of fulfillment. So just watch in ways that your pendulum swings in extremes. Try to maintain a balance, harmony, right? If your emotions start becoming extreme, if your thought process starts to become extreme, if your habits and behaviors start leaning into the extreme, right? If because if you're overly disciplined, then you might lapse into, some impulsive behaviors, right? So go at a pace that's sustainable and that you can maintain and grow from there. Don't try to do it all at once, right? Don't try to go from 0 to 60 in I don't know how many ever seconds. So that'll be all for tonight. We will be joined again together tomorrow for our Secret Teachings of Jesus episode. Yay! So that'll be when I come home tomorrow night after work in the midnight hours. So until then, peace be with you. Ciao. Shalom, shalom.